Yes, we are. Okay,
We're
let's
live.
go.
Here we go.
Here's today's God Call with Reverend Bill.
Books are a wonderful example of metaphysics in action. I'm not talking about a metaphysical book which is teaching you something about metaphysics. It's the actual art and practice of creating a book. You start with a blank page. You start with nothing and then create a story and then put the story together and let it unfold piece by piece, page by page, until the entire story arc is told. The same thing happens in life. Start writing a great story for yourself today.
Sing into the world, it's time we let the Spirit come in. Let it come on in, I'm singing to the world. Everybody's caught in a spin. Look at where we've been running around year after year, blinded by pride, blinded with fear. But it's daybreak, if you wanna believe it can be daybreak. Ain't no time to grieve, said it's daybreak. If you'll only believe and let it shine, shine, shine all around the world. Sing it to the world, what's the point of putting it down? There's so much love to share, I'm singing to the world. Don't you see it all come around? The feelings everywhere, we've been closing our eyes day after day, covered with clouds, losing our way. But it's daybreak, if you wanna believe it can be daybreak. Ain't no time to grieve, say it's daybreak. If you'll only believe and let it shine, shine, shine all around the world. Sing it to the world, sing it, it's daybreak, daybreak. Can you feel it? Daybreak, daybreak. Can you feel it? Daybreak, daybreak. Can you feel the daybreak?
Wow. Thank you, Jeff. I can feel the day breaking. Yeah. Let's break some day. Woo! Good morning, New Thought, Philadelphia. How you doing? I am Breen Rourke, RSCP, member of the Board of Trustees, the other 60-something bald white guy here at New Thought, Philadelphia, welcoming everyone to our celebration. Bill is off playing with some other kids. We got a fantastic guest speaker, and I'm going to be your host and MC for the day. So we're on Zoom as we are, and you guys know the rules to stay on mute, except when you're sharing something or if we're going to all share together in a cacophony. So let's do that. Everybody unmute and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
To joy.
I open myself to the awareness of good surrounding me.
I open myself to the awareness of good surrounding me.
I know that love is right here, right now.
I know the love is right here, right now.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Right on. Go ahead and mute yourselves. Well, I remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. So whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our celebration today, wherever you're headed next, we've been waiting for you and welcome. So we don't have a lot of dogma or ritual. Well, we got ritual, but we don't have a lot of things you have to believe to be part of New Thought Philadelphia. We generally pretty much all believe that there is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And then we each use that very same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. And as we like to say, our new life begins with a new thought. Let's see, if you got any other unnecessary electronic devices besides the one you're using to join the celebration, go ahead and put them on shush so they don't bother you. And we're going to start today the way we like to start everything, with prayer. Joe Cottonzero, RSCP, my partner in crime. We went through training together, got licensed together. She's going to lead us in our opening prayer.
Thank you, Breen. Good morning, everyone. Let's remember that there is only love. Let's affirm that we're willing to see love, express love, and be love. Because the truth of the matter is, love is all there is. There's only love. Because that is the essence of the one source, the one power, the one intelligence that creates everything, including us. We are that love. It flows through us and in us. And it's easy to lose track of that. So let's connect today, reaffirm, remember, reconnect with that love. It is the binding force between us and each other and every other form that we share this life with. So I know that this celebration is a vessel to remix and reconnect, recombine, recreate that love and that connection. And allows us to create the essence and the substance that we truly are. All one. One with each other, one with that source. So let's pour that out into the world and see what happens and see what grows. So I claim all of this good for each one here. I allow it, I accept it. And with gratitude, I'll release my word to the law that always says yes, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Joe. So prayer, it works. It has a change in us, in our lives. It doesn't change anything out there. It changes our understanding of out there and our alignment when we get off track. So prayer works. We'd like to hear about how prayer is working in your life. And we call this little segment Prayer Works Stories, where you tell us a story about this thing was happening, and then I prayed about it, and then this thing happened. So who's got prayer work story for us this morning? One at a time, please. You can raise your hand. You can wave. You can go, oh, Mr. Got there. All right.
Oh, Mr. God.
Yes,
Just
Dave.
because I just can't let the possibility of an open space happen in a celebration. So I'm going to rub some serial numbers off on this, just because I'm a minister. So I do a lot of prayer work. And I was in a situation a little while back where someone was encountering a very challenging situation. And that challenging situation had the potential to become violent. And so I started doing a little bit of prayer around this. Like, first of all, I had to determine what it was that I was praying for. First of all, the person had not asked me to pray for them. So this is a big thing in what we do as New Thought, is that unless somebody asks, I don't really know what they want, so I can't really be praying for that to come about in their life. So I started praying about everything unfolding in absolute perfection in a timely manner. And so this prayer, and when I do these things like this, sometimes it takes a little more than one shot and done, So I found myself circling back to a certain amount of uncomfortability with the prayer I had done. So I did it at least one or two more times. And then later on, time level to be determined, I got word back that the situation had resolved itself and that everything had come out perfectly for everybody involved. So prayer works. Now, I know there's not a lot of serial numbers in there, but it's when we activate our thoughts in a loving, forgiving, positive manner, the world responds. It's not just us who changes. I believe that the world changes to suit that positive prayer.
Thank you, Dave. I've got one too. You reminded me rubbing off serial numbers. Someone I was praying with someone around a situation where they had to know some stuff, and they were concerned about knowing the stuff they needed to know. And I knew instantly, like, yeah, you got this. It's nothing. It's not even a thing. But we'll do the thing, and we'll say the words anyway. But it's done. It's a done deal before the words are even happen. And the person knew what they needed to know at the time they needed to know it. So it's all good. It's all love. Prayer works. And if you don't know what this thing called practical prayer or spiritual mind treatment's about, you can hook up with one of the practitioners, myself, Joe, Jesus, Dave, Bill. We got some practitioners in training who are going to be happy to, right there below you. She's over here on my screen. Laura's over there. We're going to have lots of newly minted practitioners before too long. So, and we call it Rent a Consciousness. And you can learn more about that too. Cool. All right. Thanks everybody. And now we're going to have announcements. So get ready for the fanfare as we welcome in Jane with the announcements.
Good morning. This May Day of information is on the website at newthoughtphilly.org. Please sign up for the weekly e-newsletter so we can keep in touch. Reverend Bill is on Substack, posting each daily spark from his new book. Subscribe for free. God Calls are a half a minute of inspiration on your phone 4 times every week, starting with a free 2-week trial. Info is at godcall.org. We host a dozen online meditations every week. Drop by for 15 minutes of inspiration on Zoom. They're also on Insight Timer Live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Sandy and Karen lead the Power of 8 Intention Circle every Monday evening from 6:30 to 7 to help bring new experience to the lives of the group members. Spiritual cross training is transformation in head, heart, and hand. In an hour on Zoom on 4 Tuesday evenings, May 26th through June 16th. Please sign up on Meetup. You're invited to monthly Anton events, including a prayer circle, visioning session, men's group, and a New Thought Leader presentation. Register at anton.org. There will be another You Are Not Alone listening session on Sunday, May 17th at 7 p.m. There are now more than 2,900 spiritual adventurers in our group on meetup.com. Get your midweek adventure on and meet some new folks at one of the daily meditations. Follow, subscribe, like, and share New Thought Philly on Instagram, Facebook, Insight Timer, and YouTube. New Thought Philadelphia is a tithing community. 10% of our income is donated to the people and organizations that keep us spiritually filled. If you have a suggestion for where to direct our tithes, contact Reverend Bill or a board member. Your support means a lot. Please support New Thought Philly and those who feed us with a tax-deductible donation by Zelle, Cash App, check, PayPal, Venmo, credit, or debit card. Thank you to the team that makes these celebrations work. We get together ahead of time to get things in order and have some fun. Email the volunteer coordinator to join the joy. Next Sunday is Hybrid at Falzer with Divine Mother. Reverend Bill notes that Mother's Day can be more than cards, flowers, and brunch, with a reminder of the infinite nurturing, loving power that brings everything into being. Live music by Ginger Coyle. The practitioners are available for professional sessions by appointment. After the celebration today, Joe is available for a quick transformational miracle in a minute prayer. And stick around in the Zoom meeting after the celebration for casual conversation.
Thank you, Jane. Woohoo! So now is the time where we would welcome new folks. And I don't know, is there anybody here? I recognize most of the names, I think. I don't think, is anybody here for the first time and wants to just give a digital thumbs up or come off camera and go, hey, I'm here. Otherwise, we will bless each other. Go ahead and rub your hands together, generate a little warmth. Send this love out to everybody. You are a bright light of divine love. Thank you for sharing your light with us, and welcome. All right, when we're in person at this bit, we walk around hugging each other and high-fiving and elbowing, whatever people are into these days. But while we're on Zoom, go ahead and go in gallery view and look around at all the shiny, happy people. And as Dave likes to say sometimes, I think Bill says it too, you can know that the eyes you're looking at and the eyes you're looking with are the eyes of God. Jeff, regale us.
Who will buy this wonderful morning? Such a sky you never did see. Who will tie it up with a ribbon and put it in a box for me, so I can see it at my leisure whenever things go wrong, and I would keep it as a treasure to last my whole life long. Who will buy this wonderful feeling? I'm so high, I swear I could fly. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So what am I to do to keep the sky so blue? There must be someone who will buy. Who will buy this wonderful morning? Such a sky you never did see. Who will tie it up with a ribbon and put it in a box for me? Now that I know a day so sunny, I can press on this advice. 'Cause when you have it, who needs money? It's cheap at any price. Who will buy this wonderful feeling? I'm so high, I swear I could fly. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So what am I to do to keep the sky so blue? There must be someone who will buy.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. That's beautiful. Thank you. All right, now we're going to do one of the rituals. I said we don't have a lot of ritual, then I lied because we do have rituals. We're going to do the ritual lighting of the flames of faith. Benjamin's going to have flame cam, and Kathy is going to read for us.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine, feminine, and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the earth-based traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. Thank you, Kathy. We now have a reading brought to us by Laura.
Thank you. This is by Fenwick Holmes, Ernest Holmes' brother. Metaphysics, what it is and does. The word metaphysics, as its composition indicates, denotes something above the physical. Meta, meaning over, and physics, referring to the forms of matter. So that to work upon the physical plane means to employ laws that transcend physical means or agencies. It is then to push our way back of the thing that we see, which we call the manifestation, until we find the cause of the manifestation. It is the search for the ultimate cause and the law by which the Spirit creates a world and brings material objects and that physical life into manifestation. Our study of applied metaphysics is designed to make clear these facts. In the beginning, there's only mind or spirit. Whatever is made, therefore, must be made out of mind. Mind can act only by thinking. Therefore, it is thought that takes the substance, called mind, and molds it into form. God makes a world out of himself. As everything in the cosmos starts in thought and manifests in form, creation is the process by which the activity takes place. We may call it evolution, or we may call it law. By law, we mean the method Spirit follows in making things. This is the law of cause and effect. Whether it be in the making of a planet or a man, the thought is the cause. The manifestation is the effect. Even the so-called laws of the physical universe are simply the activity of this one law in some form. What it does. Metaphysics, therefore, teaches us how we may govern our bodies, our world, and our happiness by the thoughts we think. For it declares that man reproduces the creative method, and that what is true in the macrocosm or the universe is true in the microcosm or the individual, that our thoughts become things. And it claims that by acquiring the knowledge of the law and by working in harmony with it, man may be freed from limitation of all kind. Our subsequent studies will reveal that the creative mind in man and the creative mind in the universe are not two, but essentially one. The value in this understanding is that we may use the universal creative forces to secure the good we desire without the feeling that we have to do something to create. We do not make the law, we use it. And it does our work for us. All healing, accordingly, is divine. It is done to us even as we will. It is not done by us. Human will originates its own ideas, but divine mind creates. The healer is not the source, but the channel. Not the light, but the window. Not electricity, but the wire. He is the teacher who will guide to the truth until the patient learns the way for themselves. So, all metaphysical healing is based on the principle that the body of man and his affairs are created by mind, which can either build or destroy, and that this mind is controlled by thought. Jesus was the supreme metaphysician because he could speak the word of authority to mind so positively that when he said, "Rise and take up thy bed," the paralytic did as it was commanded him to do so. It is evident that Jesus used a law that is open to the use for everybody. The constitution of man has not changed its essential nature, and so today, men are demonstrating this power. I count it as the greatest work that today engages the attention of mankind. Not the mere healing, but the advancement of the knowledge of these things in a world of need.
Yes, say yes. Life keeps happening every day, say yes. When possibilities come your way, you can't start wondering what to say. You'll never win if you never play, say yes. There's mink and miracle right outside, and long white Cadillacs you can ride. There's nothing gained when there's nothing tried. Say yes. Don't say why, say why not. What lies beyond what is not. So what? Say yes, yes, yes I can, yes I will, yes I'll take a sip, yes I'll touch, yes of course, yes how nice, yes I'll happily, thank you very much, yes, oh yes. There's lots of chaff, but there's lots of wheat, say yes. You might get mugged when you walk the street, but on the other hand you might greet that handsome stranger you've longed to meet, say yes. Don't say why, say why not. What lies beyond what is not. So what? Say yes, yes, yes I'll walk, yes I'll look, yes I'd love to do such and such, yes I'll try, yes I'll dare, yes I'll fly, yes I'll share, yes I'll happily, thank you very much, yes, oh yes, oh yes. You can't look back on a chance that lost, say yes. The Dice mean nothing unless they're tossed. The throw is usually worth the toss. The hope of summer denies the frost. Say yes, yes I am, yes I'll be, yes I'll go. Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yes. That's the universe telling us yes. All right, so as promised, we have a fantastic guest speaker today. Co-founder of New Thought Philadelphia, friend, mentor, teacher, plasterer extraordinaire, Reverend Dave Schbach.
Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. So good to be home again. I always love coming and visiting with the folks. So as I was saying before we got started this morning in the rehearsal, I said, it's fun to become a minister because you get to start making up words. So today's talk title, Causual Conversation, includes a word that is a compound word that has never before been used. Because the idea that thoughts are things powered by the words that we attach to them becomes something of great importance. So I'm going to put a lot of this talk in the first person because I don't like placing anything on anybody else. And I don't know about anybody else, but I have a pretty solid built-in forgetter. And I can find myself in situations where, say, I'm not at a spiritual community or doing a practitioner session or, discussing spiritual things with spiritual people. And I'm, say at work and, the other work that I do and besides plastering. And I can find myself falling into saying things that I don't necessarily believe 100%. Let's put it that way. And it may even drop into a little more negativity. And I don't know if anybody else ever experiences that moment when you realize, oh my goodness, I've been gossiping. I usually realize it in the past tense when so-and-so, it usually follows along the lines of someone, I'll be in the middle of a conversation with a group and I will find myself saying, so-and-so said this about so-and-so, and I think. So that's the one that keys me in. When I start putting forth my opinion about something that is already hearsay, that somebody else has an opinion about that was hearsay to them, then I've realized that I may be a little out of integrity. So one of the things that I do on a regular basis, and I invite anyone who wants to do this, is I listen to Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements on audiobooks 3 times a week. Because honestly, it only takes about 2.5, 3 hours to listen to the entire book. So I do it during my morning commute and my evening commute. And that means I get, to listen to that book for, 2 days and take a break and then listen to it for 2 days. And yet I still find myself saying, I think. So that's the built-in forgetter. So what I wanted to talk about is this combination that goes on. So Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements are, in case you don't know, be impeccable with your word, take nothing serious, take nothing personally, and I'm going to trip up because I always forget one of them. So let's just leave that alone. I'm going to go with the first one. Be impeccable with your word. And invite you to look up the rest of them. Impeccability of the word is really important. And it's difficult to maintain. You would think it's really simple. Just don't say it. But how many times do we find ourselves, because of perhaps fears or feeling less than or wanting to be part of, starting to say things that we don't necessarily truly believe, but we say them anyway to be part of the group? to be included, to be one with all the rest of the folks that we happen to be talking with. And I say this not because, I'm pointing fingers at anybody else. It's just, this is what I find myself doing. After years of metaphysical practice and meditation and prayers and self-help and enlightenment, I still find these human factors coming in. And it's tricky to be impeccable with your word. So I started thinking about this, that those little, there's a law of cause and effect, which we heard a great deal about. And I love that. It was perfect reading for this. There's a law of cause and effect. And the trick about it is that it is always on. Always. Whether we're thinking about it or talking about it. So that casual remark has causal results. Right? So the law has to be the law. It's always working. So when we're just like, hey, let me add my opinion to this, just to be part of the group, the law is saying, yes, let's do that. And so we have added to the confusion. We have added more difficulty to the world rather than more love. And, our thought influences everything. Everything. So the key becomes, how do we nurture ourselves to the point where we're able to respond to the world in integrity and place the power of our word, which is our intentionality, become manifest. Like we only have a few forms of communication. Some people can communicate empathically. And an even smaller number of people can communicate telepathically, which means for the rest of us schlubs, words is what we got. And using them in a way that aligns with our belief is what brings more power of that belief system into the world. I'm going to point out a couple of things about this that I've noticed in myself, especially in these little group conversations where I find myself having to pull back for a second, is that there is a great tendency in these types of conversations to fall into duality. So I invite you in your mind, the next time you find yourself in one of these situations, to say, I am saying that. Okay? So that person that you kind of dislike what they're doing, say, I am doing something that I dislike. Because in truth, in the absolute sense, there is no separation. There is one. When we make a judgment about something that we believe to be other than ourselves, we deny the reality that there is only one life, only one love, only one power. Call it God, spirit, source, or whatever, which is unfolding all of us together as one. So anybody you've been pointing a finger at, just remember, 4 are pointing back at you. This is a truth that a new thought, because it is the science of mind, we have to take this to heart, maybe a little bit more than our fellow men do and women. That we need to be aware of what we are thinking first and what we are saying second, because we claim to be healers. By practicing the metaphysics of science of mind, we claim to know a truth. And we know, once you know, you can't put this genie back in the bottle. Once you know that you cannot deny the responsibility of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Because you're the only one who ever made anybody do anything. And all of us individually and collectively. So when you find something going on that you want to point fingers and shout about, say, I'm doing that thing. And how we turn that around? How do we get away from that duality of trying to separate ourselves from something we dislike? I have a couple of little methods. The first one is clean house. Because if you spot it out there, you got it in here. You know, nobody anywhere is doing anything that the individual part of God that I am and that you am, you are, isn't capable of doing. We may want to say that we are not capable of doing, but that is just not the truth, because we collectively are doing it. So as practicing metaphysicians and New Thought adherents, our job is to clean the house. And we clean the house by forgiving first ourselves and that part of ourselves that is showing up as somebody else, doing something that we have made a judgment about, and to begin with forgiveness and the sending of love to oneself and to whatever situation or person or individualization of God that we seem to be having some issue with. Because it's truth that the only place where I can connect with that infinite allness and source of all power is within my own individualized expression of it is absolute. I can't tell you how to get in touch with your God, your spirit. We have a prayer methodology that we believe works because I've watched it work. I have way too much evidence to say that the law does not work, you know, but it is incumbent upon me to spend the time in contemplation of love, of peace, of unity, of joy, of compassion. I have to contemplate these things on a daily basis, or I am not living by what I say I'm living by. And then I pray. Usually for whatever situation catches my attention, for that to rise to the highest level of the expression of love and divine being that is possible in this moment. And that prayer sets me on a pretty even keel, you know, and then I meditate because my active mind likes to jump around and point out all of the things that I should be praying about. Usually it's starting with a negative expression of what that might be until I catch myself and say, okay, let's start with the forgiveness process. Let's clear myself and clean my house so that when I go out into the world, I'm not one of those people who automatically says they should, because there is no they. There is only we, and that we is only making one, right? So if there's something that we need to do to express a higher level of life, a higher level of love, a higher level of compassion, a higher level of understanding, and perhaps wisdom, then we need to be in the place to recognize the wisdom that needs to come through us. Because if we cannot touch that wisdom, that understanding, that source, and truly know that we are one with it, then it's very difficult to understand that the one that we're having a problem with is one with it too. See, I don't think God made any mistakes. You know, we all have free will. We all have a choice to make. We all are on a journey to a deeper understanding and awareness of the unity of all life. And we have the opportunity to express that more deeply, more fully, and more completely in each moment, in each conversation, to stand by the integrity of our words and our beliefs, to, at the very least, refrain from adding to the confusion. And then at the opportunity that you find and have the courage to stand with, to reinforce the beliefs that we have by being that belief in the world. And I will put this forward just so that everybody doesn't think this is a walk in the park. Being in integrity with our belief system requires that we accept 100% responsibility for everything that we experience and be in love with it. So I invite you to walk the path. I invite you to be the light, to be the love, to be a divine expression of the one, now and always. And if you don't quite live up to that, it's okay. Just keep going. Pick yourself up and try again. And do your best. Love and blessings always.
Thank you, Jeff. It was beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Dave, for that talk. Always gets me thinking about stuff. And we've had a lot to think about this morning. The reading, the talk, the music. So I'm going to lead us now in a bit of a meditative practice. And what I want to do is we'll walk through a little bit of relaxation, and then we're going to do a little chanting, working with the Om. And then we'll take that into silence. So I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are. If possible, what I like to do is sit with my back straight, feet flat on the floor, my hands in my lap, palms up. And close your eyes. I like to keep my eyes closed or allow them to go to a gentle focus. And just relax. And as they say, be here now. Let go of any plans for later, any busyness of getting here this morning, any thoughts of tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Just be right here, right now, in this moment. And breathe. We're going to take 3 gentle breaths. We're going to breathe in fully. We're going to hold for just a moment, feel a little tension build in our lungs and our body. And we're going to exhale fully, allowing ourselves to relax. So breathe in. Hold. And exhale. Feel yourself relax. Second one, deep breath in. Hold. Exhale. Feel yourself relax even more. We're going to do one more, and I invite you on the exhale to audibly sigh. Allow that air to leave your lungs with an audible sigh. Breathe in. Hold. Hold for a moment longer. Feel that tension. Exhale. Oh, and feel that tension release. Feel a relaxation wash over your body. It's actually a physiological response to deep breathing. It stimulates the vagus nerve. And it can open us up to spirit, to the divine. Allow your breath to find a gentle, even pace. And we're going to chant the Om. We'll do it a few times together. And then we'll go into the silence and just sit with it. If you feel your mind wandering, if thoughts come in and go out, that's okay. Just center yourself with an Om. It's said to be the primordial vibration of the universe. It can center us, can align us, can open us to the infinite. Take a nice deep breath in. And just breathe and feel that vibration. Let's once more breathe in. Feel that vibration, feel that energy. Open to that flow of the infinite. We'll do one more together, and then we'll go into the silence. And feel free to Om whenever you want as we sit in that silence. Once more, breathe in.
Aham Prema. I am divine love. Aham Prema. I am divine love. Aham Prema. I am divine love. To manifest divine love, be impeccable with our word. Always do our best. Don't take anything personally. Don't assume. Ground ourselves in forgiveness, ourselves and others. Ground ourselves in compassion, understanding, and love. Ground ourselves in integrity and courage. Nobody said it was easy, but it's a place to start. It's the grounding in that gives us the strength. Come back to it. Rise above. Be aware. And come back to that being divine love. Take a breath. Move your body a little bit, shrug your shoulders. When you're ready, open your eyes. Come back to the room as Jeff plays us another beautiful song.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ah, imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you so much, Jeff. So, while we are all one, we recognize that each one of us has different perceptions of how that is coming about. We like to open this up so that the community has an opportunity to share any insights that may have come from the talk or while we've been celebrating. Anybody got something? That would be Jane. And I'll catch you next, Sophie.
Great talk, Dave. I love that. And I love the four agreements. So what I was thinking about with being impeccable with your word is, yes, obviously, I think the ability for people to gossip is so pervasive. It's like, it's awful. And that is one aspect of it. For me, when I think about being impeccable with my word, I have found myself in situations over the years where I'll say, hey, we should do this. Or, like, and I really have to look at my motive for why those words came out of my mouth, because once something comes out of my mouth, the ears that are hearing it are going to hold me accountable, most likely. And so there's been so many situations where I've said, let's do this or let's do that. And then the time comes and they're like, we're on for that, right? And I'll be like, oh, why did I say that? Whoever thought that was a great idea? And then I realize I'm getting much better at just saying, like, process it first. Does it really line up with me before I put my words out there? Because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings and get them all excited about doing something and then be like, haha, just kidding. Like, that's really for me that's a whole nother level of being impeccable with my word. So thank you for the talk. It was awesome.
Thank you, Jane. Scopy, did you have something you want to share?
Certainly. Good morning, everybody. The first thing is, from the talk, what came up for me was being responsible for my entire experience in this. Even when my word may be impeccable or impeccable for me, and when other people are doing the gossip, like how am I feeling superior to them because they're gossiping and I'm not, that kind of thing, of being responsible for my part, even as an onlooker, so to speak. So, um, yeah, that was my thought about that. And my second thought was about how good it is to see you. It's, I'm thinking about back in, like 10 years ago or however long ago, 2016 or something like that. And for everybody, to take advantage of the miracle in a minute after the service, because I remember doing that with you one day and it was so helpful. So that's another thing that I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Scopy. I also wanted to take just a moment to thank both Laura and Celeste for filling in my lapse there with the other two agreements that I missed. So since we were focusing on the first one, I feel okay, but I really appreciate it. And Celeste actually added the fifth agreement by Don Miguel's son, Don Jose, which is also a very effective tool in keeping ourselves online and on the beam, so to speak. Breen.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for the talk. It's always great to see you. You always get me thinking about stuff, and especially when you hold yourself accountable, it helps remind me to hold myself accountable. And what I see in thee, I have in me, kind of thing. And it really dawned on me yesterday. Driving around a lot, we had the granddaughters, and I was behind someone that was going slow on the road. And it's like, I want people to drive slow on my road, but I don't want them to drive slow when I'm behind them. And I want to go fast when I'm driving, but I don't want them to go fast when I'm walking. So so thank you. And, the idea of being impeccable with your word, and folks that know me know that I can get pedantic, and say what you mean and mean what you say. But I can get very smug and arrogant and almost use it as a weapon. And Jane can, can tell you that. Like, well, you said this, so this is what you mean. And I will, I don't know how I want to say it, need to, want to, should be better with that. I am growing in that betterness of allowing people to have their own experience of how they want to express themselves. So I get very, very judgmental about the way other people communicate. Yeah. So thank you.
Not to go too far here, but always say I am. If you want to improve, say I am.
Yes, I am.
There you go.
I am.
Or you could substitute until now.
Dave, thank you so much. Oh, Joe's got her hand up.
Quick one from Joe.
Just a reminder that if anybody wants a miracle in a minute, it's me today, and you can get me through the my email on the website.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Peace and blessings. Breed.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you all.
And thanks all.
And I am alerting Jane that it's time for the announcements, or the offering part of the announcements.
I have it. Okay. New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And you can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen, and then we'll unmute and say it together. I live in an abundant universe. I am one with the infinite source of all good.
The infinite source of all good.
I am a center of
I'm a center
conscious
of conscious prosperity.
I
Enjoy
the richness of life.
Bless my gift.
I bless
my gift.
I
share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know as I give, I do receive, and so it is.
So it is. Jeff Lesser, bring us home.
Many times I've tried to tell you, many times I've cried alone. Always I'm surprised how well you cut my feelings to the bone. Don't wanna leave you really, I've invested too much time to give you up that easy to the doubts that complicate your mind. We belong to the light, we belong to the thunder, we belong to the sound of the words we both fallen under. Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better, we belong together. Maybe it's a sign of weakness when I don't know what to say. Maybe I just wouldn't know what to do with my strength anyway. Have we become a habit? Do we distort the facts? Now there's no looking forward. Now there's no turning back when you say we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder, we belong to the sound of the words we both fallen under. Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better, we belong together. Close your eyes and try to sleep now. Close your eyes and try to dream. Clear your mind and do your best to try and wash the palate clean. We can't begin to know it, how much we really care. I hear your voice inside me, I see the face everywhere. Still you say, we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words we both fallen under. Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better, we belong, we belong, we belong together. We belong, we belong, we belong together. We belong.
Wow, thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you, thank you. So I think we've come to that time. Is that correct? Wow. I could sit here and talk for another minute and a half. That'll actually get us to the 45, but nah, let's everybody get a minute and a half back in our lives today and take that joy out there. So I invite you to unmute yourself and we're going to pray out, because this is, you can reach out and take the hand of the person in the screen next to you, or mentally, or however you want to do that. Just know that we are one. And repeat after me. I am one with the source of all good.
I am
one with
one
the
with
source
the
of
source
all
of all
good.
I am the love.
I am the
And the
love.
love.
I am the light.
I am the
am
light.
The light.
I live that love.
I live that
Live
love.
that love.
And I let that light shine.
And I let
And
that
I
light
let
shine.
Light shine.
And so it
So it
is.
is.
So it
So it
is.
is.
Peace and blessings. Yeah.